Hey Sterling, congrats on re-signing with the Bucs. We're birthday twins, by the way. Um, but what does it mean to come back to the team? Obviously, last year, prior to the season, there was a lot of unknowns with your future, and then to come and have the season and be a weapon on end arounds and do some of the stuff you did. And what does it mean to be able to come back here and play with Baker and Ben too?
Yeah. Like you said, it's been a while since I've done some end arounds, and it was a good feeling to get a couple of those and gain some yak on those things. So yeah, it was good overall, and I'm happy with the way the team finished. Obviously, we want to make it to the big game, and that's the goal. But I'm happy with the way everybody fought and the season that we had. Fought through a lot of adversity, some big key injuries, and I'm excited where this team is headed, and excited to be a part of it again.
Just talk about you kind of mentioned the adversity. This locker room is such a close knit group. Just talk about being part of it and with Mike and Chris and the wide receiver room in general. Just how close is this group and how does that affect you guys when you're out on the field? Just the closeness of it, of the group together.
Yeah, and in my 9 years in the NFL, I've been a part of a lot of groups, and not one has been as close as the guys that we've had in this locker room, and especially in the wide receiver room. You got veteran guys in there, and then you have a good balance of younger guys as well. So we're able to speak life into those guys and help them in any way that they need, but also have the experience in the room with Mike and Chris, guys that have done it at a high level for a long time. So it's a special combination, and like I said, I'm just super excited to be back a part of this crew and this group of guys because I feel like we have something special coming, and we just got to put it all the way together.
Donna Lane.
Hey, Sterling. It's been a while since we've had a chance to talk to you, so hope you're doing well and having a great off season. The last time we talked to you, of course, was in the beginning of the playoffs, and you've spoken really highly and fondly about your former teammate Saquon Barkley. What was it like for you to watch him perform on the biggest stage and get that Super Bowl?
Yeah, I was super excited for him. I mean, we went through a while at New York, and it was a lot of ups and downs. But to see what he's done and what he was able to do last season, and the success he's had, it's truly a blessing, and I'm super proud of him. Like I just got through golfing with him last week, and I was telling him how happy I was for him, and it's just great to see one of your best buddies succeeding and doing everything that he set out to do. So yeah, big kudos to him. But we're gonna try to get it this time.
Right? Very inspiring, I'm sure. And speaking of you, you had to kind of get up to speed really quickly when you came to Tampa. You didn't get like that full off season per se. So how
Mhm.
can this year kind of be different? The fact that you're going to get a full off season with the new offensive coordinator Josh Grisart, maybe get more of an opportunity to kind of settle in your role, maybe have a clearly defined role. Like what's this off season and then going into camp and everything like that going to look like for you?
Yeah, I think I've been in this situation a lot in my career. With a lot of the coaches changing, happening in New York throughout my career, I kind of got a chance to really experience that and having to switch up and find out different ways to learn the offenses very quickly. So I think that helped me with last year, but being able to get into a system the second year. I noticed a difference for sure. Being able to just relax and play, exactly what the coach is asking for, you know what he expects of you. So it kind of helps you just going into camp with the mindset of what you need to do, what you need to train for. And yeah, I feel like it's going to help not only me, but along with the other guys as well. So it's good having Grizz. He's been in that system for a long time. Maybe a couple of things are going to be switched up here and there, but not anything that's going to be too different. And it'll still allow the guys to play faster and be more confident out there.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Steve Isbitz.
Think you muted, Big Steve.
All right, we'll switch to River Wells.
Hey Sterling, congratulations on re-signing. With you coming back to the Bucs, this whole offense is basically coming back the same as it was last year. And like you mentioned, you've got Josh Grizzard coming in, who's been in the system a long time. Coming back to the Bucs, how appealing was it to know that when you came back here, everything would be sort of uniform, and how important is that continuity going into next year?
Kind of blanked out, but I think I kind of got the gist of what you were saying. Actually, can you repeat that again? It blanked out.
Yes, I was saying, with you coming back to the Buccaneers, this whole offense is basically remaining the same from last year with personnel, and you have a system with Josh Grizzard that's very similar to where Liam Cohen was. So, how appealing is that continuity when you come back to the Bucs, and how important is it as a player to kind of have that basically remain the same going into year two?
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I chose this place in the first place is I love the group of guys that we had already established, and then being a part of it last year, it was very encouraging to me, and which was ultimately the reason why I decided to come back, just because of knowing the system, being in this system before. It's not like a major change because Grizz is in that spot now. So like I said earlier, being in this second year of an offense, you have a grasp for it. You know what they're asking for. You know how you work well with other players, and what they're going to ask of other guys, and have a true understanding of what my role is. And yeah, I mean that was what was appealing to me, and also just being around the coaches. Like I love this group of coaches. They work well with each other. Probably the best that I've been around. And, I feel like this is the best situation for me and where my career is. I think we're on the up.
James Hill.
Hey, Sterling, congratulations. Can you just talk a little bit about returning and working with Baker again, a guy who you know from Oklahoma and of course this locker room? Just talk a little bit about coming back, bringing your lunch pail, your helmet, and going to work.
Yeah. Baker is one of those quarterbacks that you want to give your all for. And it's been that way since college, been that way since my senior year when I got a chance to play with him. And that was obviously I was on the road to retirement last year, and he gave me that call. And I wouldn't want to come back and play for anybody else. If I had to choose between going to go spend time with my kids or going to go play football. If I was going to go decide to play football, it would be with Baker Mayfield. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So I'm very blessed and fortunate to be in the position that I'm in right now. And like you said, I can't wait to just put on the helmet and go to work.
Sterling, the run it back mentality, just the process to come back and pick up where you guys left off. You won the South. Everyone's coming back, the continuity. Just talk about the grind and the commitment and everybody looking forward to playing on Sundays.
Yeah, I feel like we approached the season last season with a great mentality as a unit. We have to refine some things and, figure out what we didn't do as well last season that we could clean up on. But I think that we're on the right track and we're headed in the right direction. So I'm excited, like I said, about the group of guys that we have and where we're headed.
JC Allen.
Shep, at this stage of your career, obviously you're still productive given last year, but have you found yourself taking on like more of a mentor role to some of these younger guys? You mentioned the mix that you guys have in the locker room, and if so, like what are some of the things and some of the tricks and trades, maybe, not all of them, but some of them that you're sharing with these guys, and then just the development you saw of J-Mac last year?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. At this point in my career, that's obviously going to be a huge part of what I do, is mentoring these younger guys. And I feel like we have a great group of younger guys, even guys that are not in the wide receiver room, as far as like Bucky. Like, I try to speak life into them as much as I can, and whatever questions that they have, being able to answer it for them. But as far as J-Mac, like I love the way that he progressed over the season. And I told him that, you're going into your second season, the game is going to slow down from you because there's a pretty big jump going from college to the NFL in the speed of the game just in itself. And then also looks like defenses do a great job of disguising at this level. And I think experience is what you have to have. So we have a lot of guys with experience and that are able to talk to those younger guys and, give them a couple tips and pointers here and there, wherever it needs be. But I was just happy to see how he progressed over the season and how he matured. And I think it's just going to be taken to a different level this season. He did score 8 touchdowns, easiest touchdowns I ever seen in my life. But I had to let him know, listen, don't get too comfortable with this one right here. Like it's tougher than what it maybe looked like last season. But I'm super proud of him and the way that he progressed throughout last season.
They're all not gonna be walk-ins, right?
They ain't gonna be walk-ins, but you know what? He's a great player, man. I'm excited to see him this second season and what he's gonna be able to accomplish.
Was there a moment that like maybe you gave him some advice on something or kind of, like a proud dad moment where he finally like you saw it in a game or saw it in practice and you're like, that's right. That's what like I showed you. That's what I told. Was there like any moment like that with him or maybe even Rock or Trey or any of the guys?
Nah, I mean we're constantly like I said, I have Chris and Mike, and Mike is a Hall of Famer, and Chris is dang near on his way. So like I kind of let those two take the lead, and I kind of spit things in there here and there. But like there's so many different things, but those guys are on the right track to being great players in this league. And we don't really have to say much. Like they all listen, they all buy into what we're saying to them. And also BMAC is one of the best coaches that I've had while playing this game at this level. And I have just so many guys that like I trust to be able to speak to the younger guys that like I don't even have to do much, but I do wherever I see like, okay, I think I could help him out in this area. But there hasn't been one specific moment. Like there's little bits and things that I see and that I say, and they'll take it into account and mix it up their own way. But they're all special players in that aspect. So like I said, I've been proud of them.
We have time for 2 more. We'll try to go to Steve Isbitz and then we'll go to Jeneline.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Sterling, you got a late start last year and then you were on the practice squad. Do you feel this year your role is more secure, your job is more secure?
I don't approach this time like that. Like this time is made for guys to go out there and earn a job. So I don't ever go into it with the mentality of like it's going to be given to me. I go in there and I try to earn a job regardless of what the situation is. I remember a couple of years back when I was coming off my ACL, like I knew I was only going to get half of camp to show what I had and at New York. And that's the way I attacked it. Was like every day I got to show something about the reason why I need to be here. And last year I got off to a late start, but that's no excuse either. Like it was all mental for me. I knew I had the physical part of it down, but I needed to get the mental part of it down. So I spent extra time going over to Baker's house, going to go work with Kyle Trask whenever I could to get the system down, just so I could play like I wanted to play. And it took a bit of extra work, but I mean, that's our job. And there's not too many excuses that you could use other than, I ended up breaking my rib and breaking my finger during camp. So that kind of hurt me. But other than that, the first solid 2 weeks that I had, that was my mentality. And I think that's the reason why I was invited back. So, yeah.
Last question from Jeneline.
Hey, Sterling. Yeah, it's crazy. This time last year, like you thought your career might be over, and the fact that you could, I don't know if it's fair to say that like you the change of scenery, maybe, I don't know, did it restore your love of playing? I mean, I watch you on tape, and especially like when guys are mic'd up, and you just have this real palpable joy, like you can feel it. I don't know, did coming here kind of help restore your love for the game? Was it always there? I know sometimes you do this year after year after year in the same place, it can get monotonous.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know what? Like, to answer this question the best way I can, that's always been in me, is like the love and the passion for this game. And me being in New York, like, although we weren't winning, like I like thrive off of seeing other guys succeed. So wherever I could find that, it was a rough season, but like guys were doing a great job in their role, and that fires me up. So like being here, it gave me a different type of motivation. Like I was able to actually play more than being in New York, and I got to like show what I had to offer to the team, which was great. And it kind of gave me like a resurgence of like an energy to play the game again. But yeah, I mean, it's brought that excitement back for me, and I contribute that to like the guys around me, seeing the way that Mike attacks the game, seeing the way that Baker attacks the game, Tristan and all those guys. Like it lights you up and it makes you want to give your all for those guys. And I knew that I had a lot to give in the tank after leaving New York. It was just kind of the situation and not really being in the position to play as much, and then wanting to go with the younger guys, which is understandable. But I knew I had a lot more to give. And as soon as I got my opportunity, I tried to make the most of it. And, I feel like I have a little bit of ball left to play, and I just want to max it out all the way. I feel like I can clean up some of the stuff that I even did last year. It was more ball than I got to play in a long time last year. So I feel like getting that underneath me is going to help me out.
All right. That's all we have. Thanks, Sterling.
Thank you, guys.